Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Thursday, August 25th, 2022, and tonight I will be covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all the episodes of the show, along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at the podcast page, and that is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or if you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about those experiences. And again, tonight, later on tonight, basically tomorrow morning for me anyway, at 2 a.m. my time, Eastern time, 11 p.m. Pacific, I will be on the Jess Rogie show. I've already put a link in the Discord, and you can check out that show. Just search that name, and you should be able to find it as well if anyone is up that late tonight. And of course, it'll be available afterwards for replays for re-listening. So, and I'll just be talking about my paranormal experiences, and then whatever else comes up along the way. So, I think that takes care of everything for now. And of course, this is the last show of the week, technically, until Sunday again, which will be more true paranormal stories from the web. So, I think with that, I can move on to these stories. Of course, I have already put these articles in the Discord stream chat, where I do the streams here, and so you can all check them out. Because there are pictures, definitely, and a couple of them at least, that you'll want to look at, and then read the whole article, because I just kind of skim over them and talk about them in these shows. So speaking of that, I guess we can get started on this. This first article is from breakinglatest.news. It's actually in the subsection of health, which is really seems strange to me, but that's okay. And not really criticizing it, just seemed like an odd subsection to be in. But that's just me. But this article, the title is Ancient Coins with Alien Patterns Found in Egypt Are Evidence of Aliens Coming to Earth. And it ends with a question mark there. And says Ancient Egypt has basically keywords within just after the title of the article. So Ancient Egypt, aliens, patterns, ancient coins, Earth, evidence left behind. And this is from just a couple of days ago, actually. So let's see here. I'm looking for an author, but I'm not seeing one right off the bat. But all the information that's in this article will be in the article on the link. So check it out for sure, and get more information on this here. But if you look at the pictures in this article, obviously it's hard to say what is on these coins, but one could almost interpret at least one of the images to be possibly appear to be like a almost like a flying saucer. And the other image they have here, it's some kind of a figure, and it doesn't look quite like a regular person. So anyway, this article talks about how ancient Egyptian archaeologists unearthed a batch of relics, which included an ancient coin. I guess so that must be two sides of the same coin. And this coin apparently couldn't be found in the historical records. And so, of course, it mentions that what shocked archaeologists was that the coins featured images of what could be taken as spaceships and aliens. And of course, that's one interpretation. Who knows for sure what they are? I don't totally dismiss the possibility of other species, other beings visiting or staying here for periods of time. I think that we've been in contact with different kinds of beings for a very long time in various ways. Um, so I don't dismiss this at all. It's just these kind of finds. It seems like they always get explained away, and or there's not much more on them after they happen. So, but it's still amazing that this kind of a concept. It's amazing to me anyway that this kind of concept is even being discussed in articles at this point. Um, so it goes further into this article here a little bit, but I think I'll leave that the rest of that for you all to check out. Um, and but just amazing images on these coins, on this coin, and especially since it couldn't be found anywhere else. So just had to share that because I thought it was pretty neat. And from there we go to more paranormal, more ghostly things. Um, so okay, so Apoc says she's seen this before, but didn't realize it was legit. It seems like it is anyway. Based on the article, I always hesitate to say anything for sure, but still, like I said, just the way this topic is even being allowed on these kind of websites to me is a good sign, if at the very least. So, um, so yeah, I think that takes care of that article. Um, thank you all who are here to listen to this live, and also I want to thank everyone that listens to these shows after, whether it's in the YouTube or podcast feed. The numbers are still going up. Still, so we're past the 4,000 view mark on YouTube and 3,000 download mark on the podcast pages. So, and still rising, which is just blowing my mind. So, thank you all for that. And so, this next article here is a possible sighting of something, some kind of apparition. This article is from dailymail.co.uk. And this article says the title is Ghost Woman, in quotation marks, wearing long coat and hat is caught on camera standing in ruins at historic cliffside graveyard. And let's see here. Apparently, this is by Tara Cobham. I'm not sure for sure about that pronunciation. I apologize. But the bullet points of this article they give here are so a mother with her and her two adult children traveled uh, on August 13th on the Saturday, and she decided to take pictures of the ruins at Tynemouth Priory in North Tyneside. I'm not sure if I'm saying any of those words right. I apologize if I'm not. And this apparently she spotted this apparition later in pictures, I'm guessing. And apparently in February 2021, there was another picture of a spirit there. So, or a ghost there. And so let's see here. So yeah, it's basically just a sighting. And the picture is pretty neat. It's obviously, you never know what's for sure what is real or not. But apparently this was not they weren't on a tour, paranormal tour, or anything like that. So that's a good sign in a way. And so let's see here. Uh, so apparently, when the last name of this woman is Steele, so when Miss Steele took the pictures, she didn't see a woman there in the picture. Now, the one thing I will say is when I looked at the picture, I did notice that this figure was off to the side. So maybe technically you could say that she just didn't see this figure. Um, but still pretty amazing. Um, so yeah, just a neat sighting, and it even includes a picture. So there's more here, and I'll let you all read the rest. But cool picture, cool possible sighting there. And so that brings us to this last article here. Uh, and let's see here. So this last article here is from, again, one of these websites that covers all these things, which is higgypop.com. And the article title is, Does Paranormal Activity Happen More Frequently to Those Who Believe? And the only problem I have with that question to begin with is, I'm sure, and I've experienced myself, I didn't have any views either way on the paranormal when I had my first experience, in my first several experiences. I wasn't interested in the topic. Um, I didn't even know it really existed. I didn't know any of that really existed outside of maybe TV, books, fiction, basically. And so this, let's see here. This doesn't say an author, but it says, are people who believe in the paranormal and the possibility of ghosts more likely to experience strange activity? And what does all this have to do with sheep and goats, which apparently are, it's a, I'm guessing a psychological um, comparison, these ideas. But so that's the only problem I have with this the question, in a way, because people have experiences that don't have any views on this. Um, but on the other hand, what is amazing is I have heard people say, and I think this can be true, is that once you're more open to it, then maybe you will have more experiences. So it's not that I think it's totally wrong. I just feel like belief in it doesn't necessarily um, instigate the first experience. It doesn't have to anyway. So that's kind of what I wanted to bring up for that article. And so yeah, that's really. Well, let me look at this article more here. So it says that in this article here, it says that if you're a skeptic and you've been on a ghost hunt, uh, then, and I've heard this before. People have said this before, that they'll say to skeptics, "You'll never see a ghost with that attitude." Um, and I don't know. I do feel like that can be the case. The problem, I think, is with absolutes, and I don't think those are good in any case. It may be that people who are skeptical may be less likely in some cases to have an experience, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. Um, and I also think in some cases people have experiences, but they refuse to see them as being paranormal. Um, so there's that. It's not just an easy thing you can put into boxes and classify, I don't think. Um, so, but this article talks about that, and so apparently let's see here. Okay, so apparently there was this experiment in 1942, run by, uh, let me see here, Gertrude Smedler, who was a professor of psychology at the City University of New York, where uh, she categorized says the volunteers taking part in her ESP experiment as either sheep or goats, and this ESP, of course, is extrasensory perception, and she called those that believe in psi and psychic abilities, I guess they mean, sheep, and those who didn't, goats. And that says the researcher asked the volunteers to try to identify the images on the faces of a deck of cards, a concealed uh, Zener cards. I don't even know what those are. Okay, the cards apparently have 5 different images on them, and there are 25 cards in the deck. So if you pick that random, you expect to get one of the five right on average. It says. Um, so that's 5 correct guesses uh, out of 25. And it says this is the mean chance expectation, MCE. So says that this researcher found that sheep, quote unquote sheep, achieved much higher success than you'd expect from chance, averaging 5.23 correct guesses, while goats had significantly less success than chance with a mean of 4.93. So, and apparently this has been done by other researchers and other ways of testing as well. So, and I've heard that those terms, goat and sheep, applied to many things over the years too. So that's why I wasn't sure about that when I first read it. But so it is an interesting article and gets into more details about experiments and all of that. And I think I'll let you all check out the rest of that because that's getting into the details that I don't really know enough about. Uh, there's a lot more in there, so definitely check it out and go from there. But yeah, I thought I like these articles, even if you don't read the entire thing. At least the title can maybe lead to a good conversation. And okay, so they're psychic practice cards, kind of, yeah, okay. Um, but yeah, so that's the articles for tonight. I'm thinking maybe of doing 2 different kinds of news shows each week, starting soon, because I feel like sometimes I find articles about haunted places, but they're not necessarily news. So I'm thinking of maybe making a separate show instead of 2 news shows a week. It'll be kind of like a haunted places episode a week, along with a news show per week, possibly. Or at least making them 2 different things, kind of, because finding an article about a haunted place isn't necessarily news, and I don't like to label it that way when it's not necessarily really news. So I'm gonna work with that. Maybe do something like that every so often whenever I find enough articles for it, and go from there. I think just whenever they pop up, it may not be. There may be 2 regular news shows per week, and then some weeks there'll just be 1 news and then 1 haunted places episode based on whatever I find. So just so that I'm kind of labeling these correctly and not misrepresenting anything. I don't really want to do that. So um And I think that'll be it for today. Again, I'm doing slightly shorter shows now in some cases, so that's uh that's the case for today. Also, I do want to I don't want to overdo it tonight with my eyes, so I want to try to be careful here. Because I have a show to do later on tonight, so that should be fun. Thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you all again on Sunday. I'll be back with more true paranormal stories from the web. So until then, I will talk to you all on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care, everyone.